Have you ever felt a strange, unsettling chill in your own neighborhood? A feeling that something is just off. You dismiss it as your imagination. But what if it's more than that? What if the place you call home is under a dark, spiritual influence? Most people would never suspect it. But demonic presences can infest not just a house, but an entire area. The signs are subtle, often hiding in plain sight, dismissed as bad luck or social problems. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to explore the 7 undeniable signs that you might be living in a demonic neighborhood. And the 7th sign is the most shocking of all it is. Something you probably see every single day and never think twice about. Stay with me, because what you learn today could change how you see your world forever. Let's start with the first sign. A pervasive and unexplained sense of dread or fear. This isn't just about feeling unsafe because of crime rates. This is a spiritual heaviness, an oppressive atmosphere that seems to hang in the air. You might feel anxious or on edge for no apparent reason, especially at night. It has a feeling that drains your energy and makes you want to lock your doors and stay inside. This spiritual dread is often the first indicator that a negative entity has laid claim to an area. It's like a constant, low-grade hum of negativity that affects everyone, whether they realize it or not. People become more irritable, more withdrawn. The overall mood of the neighborhood is just heavy. If you feel your spirit sink the moment you enter your neighborhood, pay close attention. The second sign is an unusually high rate of conflict and division among neighbors. In a healthy community, people might have disagreements, but there's a general sense of unity. In a demonically influenced area, it's the opposite. There's constant strife, gossip, and backbiting. Small disputes escalate into major feuds. Neighbors who were once friends become bitter enemies over trivial matters. You'll notice a pattern of broken relationships, not just within families, but between households. There's a spirit of division at work, sowing discord and mistrust. This entity thrives on chaos and anger. It feeds off the negative energy created by human conflict. So, if your neighborhood feels more like a war zone of petty arguments and hostility than a community, that's a major red flag. Sign number 3. A noticeable decay and neglect of the environment. And I'm not just talking about a few unkempt lawns. I mean a widespread, almost contagious state of disrepair. Properties fall into ruin for no clear economic reason. There's an abundance of litter, graffiti, and vandalism that seems to reappear, no matter how often it's cleaned up. It's as if the land itself is sick. Dark entities drain the life and vibrancy out of their beauty, order, and care are reflections of a positive, divine influence. Conversely, decay, filth, and neglect are the physical manifestations of a spiritual void. The very ground you walk on can be affected. You might notice that plants and trees struggle to grow, or that the area just looks gray and lifeless, even on a sunny day. This physical decay is a mirror of the spiritual decay happening beneath the surface. Moving on to the 4th sign, which is a big one. An epidemic of addictions and destructive behaviors. While these are complex social issues, in a spiritually oppressed area, they become rampant and seemingly unconquerable. You'll see an unusually high concentration of problems, like substance abuse, gambling, and other forms of compulsive behavior. It's more than just a few isolated cases. It's a plague that seems to grip the community. Demonic forces love to exploit human weakness. They encourage and amplify self-destructive habits because it creates brokenness, despair, and spiritual bondage. When people are trapped in addiction, they are easier to control and influence. Their light is dimmed, and their spiritual defenses are down. If your neighborhood is a hotspot for these kinds of struggles, it's a sign that a predatory spiritual force is actively at work, preying on the vulnerable. The 5th sign is a history of tragedy and darkness associated with the land itself. Every place has a history, but some places have a history that is stained with significant evil. Was your neighborhood built on an ancient battlefield, a place of great tragedy, or a site where dark rituals were performed? These events can leave a spiritual scar on the land, creating a portal or an anchor for negative entities. This dark energy lingers for generations, attracting more negativity. You might hear local legends or ghost stories that are unusually dark and malevolent. People might report paranormal activity, not just in one house, but across the entire area. This historical trauma doesn't just fade away. It can become a power source for a demonic stronghold. Researching the history of your land might reveal some very uncomfortable truths about the spiritual foundation of your neighborhood. Now for the sixth sign. A pervasive spiritual apathy and a resistance to anything positive or holy. In a demonically oppressed neighborhood, there's a tangible coldness toward faith and spirituality. Churches may be empty or struggling. Attempts to start community groups, prayer meetings, or positive initiatives often fail mysteriously. There's a general atmosphere of cynicism and hopelessness. People aren't just uninterested in spiritual matters. They can be actively hostile towards them. It's as if there's a force pushing back against any form of light. This spiritual deadness is a key strategy for dark entities. If they can keep people spiritually asleep and disconnected from God, they can operate without resistance. If you've tried to bring light and positivity to your community and felt like you were hitting a spiritual brick wall, you might be dealing with this exact kind of oppressive force. And now, for the seventh and most subtle sign, the one that hides in plain sight, the one I promised you. It's the constant, unexplained presence of broken and neglected symbols. This isn't just about overt evil symbols. It's about the inversion and perversion of good ones. Think about it. Do you see an unusual number of broken fences, shattered windows, or dead street lights that never get fixed? These things represent broken boundaries and a lack of protection. What about symbols of community? Are the playgrounds for children consistently vandalized and left in ruins? Is the community center a place of disrepair and neglect? These aren't just maintenance issues. They're symbolic. A demonic influence works to corrupt and break down symbols of order, safety, and community. It mocks the very things that are meant to bring people together and protect them. It's the slow, creeping decay of everything that represents hope and unity. It's the visual language of a spiritual territory that has been surrendered to darkness. So, what do you do if you recognize these signs in your own neighborhood? First, don't panic. The most powerful weapon you have is prayer and light. Your personal faith and a strong spiritual life create a shield of protection around you and your home. You can become a lighthouse in a dark place. Focus on your own space first. Anoint your home. Pray for protection and fill it with positive, worshipful energy. Then, you can begin to pray for your neighborhood. You don't have to do it alone. Find other like-minded individuals. Even if it's just one or two other people, there is immense power in unified prayer. Begin to pray for the breaking of these strongholds, for light to pierce to the darkness, and for the healing of the land and the people. You can make a difference. One light can push back a lot of darkness. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I know this is a heavy topic, but awareness is the first step toward change. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you think needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future explorations into the spiritual world. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and be the light.